All right, today we are tackling something really special, but also kind of tricky. Natural horn eyeglass frames. I mean, if you've got a pair, you know they are an absolute statement piece. But when they don't fit right, it's a total headache. So the question is, do we have what it takes to run the DIY gauntlet and fix them ourselves? Let's find out. Oh, come on. Is there anything more frustrating? You know what I'm talking about. That constant annoying push up on the nose or that little pinch right behind your ears. It's one of those tiny things that can just drive you crazy all day long. Now, with your average frames, you just pop over to the optician, right? Easy. But with natural horn, well, the game is a little different. Yup, that's right. For these amazing frames, the fix is literally in your hands. But here's the catch. So is the risk. We're not talking about plastic here. Horn is a natural material, and that means it can be damaged, like permanently damaged, really easily. So think of this as your official guide to running the DIY gauntlet. The reward is high, for sure, but believe me, the risk is even higher. Okay, so before we even think about grabbing any tools or talking about techniques, we've got to start with the absolute most important step, and that is figuring out if your frames are even a candidate for a home adjustment in the first place. Seriously, this part is non-negotiable. Pay close attention here because this is probably the most critical moment in this whole explainer. If your frames have any of the issues we're about to go over, you just have to stop. Full stop. Trying to adjust them anyway will, and I mean will, almost certainly end in total disaster. So let's get into the specifics. First off, any cracks, even tiny ones, stop. Heat is just going to make them 1,000 times worse. Do your frames have any of those cool metal inlays or little stone accents? Well, those materials heat up differently than the horn, which causes stress and, you guessed it, damage. See any peeling lacquer or weird warping already happening? Those are major red flags, signs of weakness. And for the love of all that is good, are your expensive prescription lenses still in there? The heat can totally fry their special coatings. If you see any of this stuff, your only safe move is to take them to a professional. Period. Okay, so if you've made it past the safety check, congratulations, you're clear to proceed to the main event, the open flame method. Now, this is the fastest, most effective way to do it yourself, but it's also the one with absolutely zero room for error. Let's break it down. First up, distance. This is crucial. You're going to hold the temple, the arm of the glasses, at a very specific distance, 8 to 10 inches. That's it, 8 to 10 inches above a medium flame on a gas stove. Get any closer, and you're going to scorch that beautiful horn. And now for your time window. And let me tell you, it is short. We're talking just 6 to 8 seconds. That's it. And for that entire time, you have got to keep the horn moving, constantly rotating it. And please, use a timer on your phone or something. Guessing is absolutely not an option here. And this is the hard limit. Do not go over 10 seconds. I mean it. Ever. Why? Because natural horn soaks up heat way, way faster than regular plastic frames. Going even a second or two over that mark can be the difference between a perfect, custom fit and a completely ruined, worthless frame. All right, so here's how this whole thing breaks down, step by step. First, prep. And prep is everything. Make sure the temples are clean, get those lenses out, and please, wear some heat-resistant gloves. Then you start the heating. And the analogy here is just perfect. You want to rotate it constantly, just like you're toasting a marshmallow. You're going for that nice, even, gentle heat. Now, to check if it's ready, don't touch it. Just hover your gloved hand nearby. If you can feel the heat radiating off of it, you are good to go. And this brings us to the single most important warning sign your body can give you, your nose. See, horn is made of keratin, which is the same stuff as your hair. So if you smell that unmistakable, awful scent of burning hair, you need to stop immediately. It means the horn has been scorched and damage has already happened. Okay, so let's say you've successfully heated the horn. No bad smells, everything's going great. Fantastic. Now comes the real moment of truth, actually shaping it, setting that new shape, and, having a plan for what to do if things did go a little bit wrong. So as soon as it's warm, you're going to apply slow, very gentle pressure to bend the temple into the exact curve you need. Once you have it, hold it there. Hold it firmly for a solid 30 seconds. Then, to lock it in, you immediately plunge that bent part into a bowl of ice water for a full 60 seconds. This is what sets the horn. Take it out, dry it off, and then just wait. Give it a good 10 minutes to cool down completely before you even try it on. If it's still not quite right, you can repeat the whole process, but only one more time. That's it. Maximum of 2 attempts. But okay, what if you do get that burnt hair smell? What then? Well, here is your damage control protocol. First, stop what you're doing. Immediately. Grab a damp cloth and gently wipe the area to cool it down fast. Then get some horn conditioner, something like Renapur is great, and apply it to try and get some moisture back in. But you gotta be realistic here. While this might help a little, that scorch damage, it's very, very likely permanent. Now look, if everything we just went over with the open flame sounds, well, a little too intense, that is completely understandable. The good news is you're not out of options. There are definitely safer paths to success if you'd rather not play with fire. This table here really breaks down the trade-offs nicely. For example, there's the hot water method. You submerge the horn in water that's about 160 degrees for 90 seconds. Yeah, it's a lot slower, but the risk level is super low. Or you could use a hairdryer on high heat. That's a bit faster, around 45 seconds, and it's also way, way safer than a flame. So yeah, both of these options take a bit more patience, but they give you a much bigger margin for error, which is huge. Of course, the absolute safest path of all, it's the one that professionals take. When you go to an optician and ask for this, the official term you're looking for is a temple adjustment. And let's be real, the pros have specialized tools that most of us just don't have lying around the house. And here is the ultimate pro tip, a little inside baseball for you. The really high-end places, like a Cartier boutique, they're not using flames or hot water. No way. They use these specialized infrared heaters that give them perfectly controlled, even heat. This is the absolute gold standard. It's incredibly precise and pretty much guarantees no damage. And get this, if you actually own a pair of their frames, this service is often complimentary. So, after going through all of that, we finally arrived at the final choice. And it really all comes down to a decision that weighs your confidence against your caution. You have the knowledge now. You get the risks, you know the different methods, and you know about the professional alternative. The choice is really yours. Do you go for that feeling of precision craftsmanship at home, or do you opt for the guaranteed safety of an expert who has all the right tools? So you've seen the paths laid out before you. You've walked through the gauntlet with us. Now you know what it takes to succeed, and you know what happens if you fail. So, which will you choose? Will you take the craftsman's risk for that deep satisfaction of doing it yourself? Or will you seek the master's wisdom for a perfect, guaranteed result? The choice is yours.